Welcome to Legends Unearthed. Tonight, we delve into the chilling lore of Greece's most infamous creatures of the night, the Vrykolakas, a restless undead with an insatiable hunger, and the Lamia, a serpent-like being who preys on the innocent. What dark truths lie behind these ancient tales? Were they myths to scare children, or warnings rooted in reality? Join us as we unravel their origins, explore their terrifying powers, and discover how these legends still haunt the Greek imagination today. Ready to face the shadows? Let's begin. Greek folklore is steeped in tales of supernatural beings that reflect the fears, beliefs, and moral lessons of its culture. Among these are the Vrykolakas, a reanimated corpse that terrorizes the living, and the Lamia, a demon-like entity that preys on children and travelers. While the Vrykolakas is tied to concepts of death, burial, and the undead, the Lamia embodies themes of vengeance, predation, and otherworldly seduction. Together, these figures provide a rich tapestry of mythological and cultural insights. The Vrykolakas, the undead menace. Origins and etymology. The term Vrykolakas has its roots in Slavic and Byzantine Greek language influences, likely deriving from the Slavic Vrykolakas, which means wolf pelt wearer, or werewolf. Over time, the term evolved to describe a being more akin to the vampire or revenant. This transformation reflects the blending of Greek Orthodox beliefs with regional pagan traditions, creating a distinct figure of terror. Characteristics and behavior. The Vrykolakas is described as a corpse that has returned from the dead, animated by an unclean spirit or cursed due to improper burial rites or moral failings in life. In some accounts, the Vrykolakas arises when a person dies excommunicated, is buried in unconsecrated ground, or is cursed by a priest. Others suggest that Vrykolakas can be created by being bitten by another Vrykolakas, linking them to vampiric contagion. Physical descriptions vary, but common traits include corporeal form. Unlike the spectral ghosts of other traditions, the Vrykolakas possesses a physical, often bloated, and grotesque body. It may show signs of decay but remains unnaturally strong. Nocturnal habits. The Vrykolakas is primarily active at night, wandering through villages to knock on doors or call out names. If someone answers, they may fall victim to its curse or disease. Bringer of plague. Much like the Nosferatu of Eastern Europe, the Vrykolakas is associated with spreading disease and death in its wake. Its presence is often suspected when unexplained deaths or illnesses occur in a community. Methods of prevention and destruction. Preventing a person from becoming a Vrykolakas is of utmost importance in Greek burial customs. Rituals include proper burial rites, ensuring that the deceased receives full Orthodox Christian rites, including prayers, blessings, and burial in consecrated ground. Posthumous safeguards. To prevent the dead from rising, villagers might pierce the body with nails, spikes, or wooden stakes. In extreme cases, the corpse might be decapitated or burned to ashes. When a suspected Vrykolakas is active, its body may be exhumed. Signs of undeath include uncorrupted flesh, unnatural preservation, or movement within the coffin. Destruction involves exorcisms, calling upon priests to perform blessings or exorcisms over the grave. Burning the body. Complete incineration ensures the Vrykolakas cannot rise again. Cultural role and legacy. The Vrykolakas serves as both a cautionary tale and a means of explaining mysterious deaths or misfortunes. It embodies fears of improper burial, societal transgressions, and the thin boundary between life and death. Today, the Vrykolakas continues to fascinate, finding its place in modern media and literature as a precursor to the more familiar vampire archetype. The Lamia, a seductive predator. Origins and mythological roots. The Lamia is a figure from ancient Greek mythology, with a complex origin story that intertwines with themes of punishment, vengeance, and monstrous transformation. According to legend, Lamia was once a beautiful Libyan queen or maiden who became the object of Zeus's affection. When Hera discovered their affair, she cursed Lamia by killing her children and transforming her into a monstrous being that preys on children and young men. The name Lamia may derive from the Greek word limos, meaning throat or gullet, emphasizing her association with devouring her victims. Over time, Lamia evolved into a broader category of demon-like beings in Greek and later European folklore. Characteristics and abilities. Lamia is depicted in various ways across Greek myths and folklore. Key traits include shapeshifting. Lamia is often described as a serpent-like creature, sometimes with a woman's upper body and a snake's lower half. In other accounts, she can assume a fully human form, using her beauty to lure unsuspecting victims. Predation on children. Lamia's hunger for children is central to her mythos, a manifestation of her cursed grief and rage over the loss of her own offspring. Seduction and deception. Lamia is also portrayed as a temptress who preys on travelers, especially young men. Her beauty and charm hide her predatory nature until it is too late. Methods of defense. Protecting against Lamia involves ritual and symbolic acts to ward off her influence. These include amulets and charms. Talismans bearing protective symbols or invoking divine protection were commonly used to keep Lamia at bay. Exorcisms. In later traditions, invoking saints or performing religious rituals could banish or weaken her power. Avoidance of vulnerability. Keeping children supervised and avoiding solitary travel at night were practical measures to prevent falling victim to her predations. Lamia in broader folklore. Over time, Lamia became a template for other vampiric or demonic beings in European folklore. She shares similarities with the succubus, a demon that seduces and drains energy from men, and with other female predators like the strigo or the Eastern European mora. Her dual nature as both a grieving mother and a predatory monster adds depth to her characterization. Common themes: Vrykolakas and Lamia. While distinct in origin and behavior, the Vrykolakas and Lamia share several thematic elements. Fear of the dead and undead. Both figures represent the dangers posed by the restless dead. The Vrykolakas embodies fears tied to improper burial and the corruption of the body, while Lamia represents the grief and wrath of a cursed soul. Predation on the living. The Vrykolakas spreads disease and death, while Lamia physically consumes her victims. Both prey on human vulnerability, whether physical or emotional. Symbolism of morality and ritual. These myths highlight the importance of proper behavior and religious observance. For the Vrykolakas, this means adherence to burial customs and moral living. For Lamia, it's a warning against unchecked passion and divine punishment. Gendered fear and power. The Vrykolakas is often male, reflecting anxieties about patriarchal societal structures and leadership roles. Lamia, as a female predator, subverts traditional gender norms, embodying both the allure and danger of feminine power. Cultural legacy. Both the Vrykolakas and Lamia have left lasting impressions on Greek culture and beyond. Their tales have been retold and adapted across centuries, influencing literature, art, and modern horror tropes. The Vrykolakas contributed to the development of the vampire archetype, while Lamia's seductive and monstrous duality can be seen in characters ranging from mermaids to succubi in later European traditions. In modern media, these figures continue to captivate. The Vrykolakas serves as a grim reminder of death's mysteries and the thin veil between life and the afterlife. Lamia, meanwhile, embodies the allure of the forbidden and the dangers of unchecked desire. Together, they enrich the tapestry of supernatural folklore, bridging the ancient and contemporary worlds. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the chilling world of the Vrykolakas and Lamia. These ancient tales remind us of the power of folklore to shape cultures and send shivers down our spines. If you enjoyed this dive into Greek mythology's dark side, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more spine-tingling stories. Have your own theories or favorite myths? Share them in the comments, we'd love to hear. Until next time, stay curious, and beware the shadows.